mnataka tupite hii barabara ya umma.
Mbona tunafungiwa?
Hii barabara ya umma mnafungia sasa gani?
Kwani kuna curfew? Is there a restriction that we should not go in this country
to our homes?
Court order. Hii court order ilipeanwa ya kwamba tarehe 23 mtu anaitwa Rai asikanyage Nzoia. Hii court order ilizuia waziri na serikali ya Ruto kuuza mashini yenu ya Nzoia. Sasa leo tuko hapa kuambia Rai, kama wewe umekaidi amri ya mahakama, if you Bwana Rai, you have defied the court order, we declare you persona non grata, usikanyage hapa kwetu. Sababu order inakuzuia kuingia Nzoia. Wale wote wamekuingiza, wamekupa Nzoia is null and void, na leo tuko kusavi order. Tuko pamoja?
Mutakubali wamalize Nzoia? Huyu muhindi ambaye anapewa Nzoia sasa alidanganya serikali akapewa panipepa. Webuye ilikuwa inaendelea mzuri. Ukienda Webuye za hizi imekufa, si ndio? Hata hii Bukembe huyu muhindi akiingia hapa Bukembe itakuwa imekufa. Haimaanishi kwamba kama kampuni ya serikali inafanya vibaya inauzwa. Kenya Airways haifanyi vizuri. KVDA haifanyi vizuri. Mauniversity za Kenya hazifanyi vizuri. Hata serikali ya Kenya kama kuna kitu takana kukua list ni serikali ya Kenya, si ndio? Imekuwa list. Sasa watu wetu tusikubali mali yetu yaribiwe. Na ndiposa mimi nimekuja hapa leo. Na tukisema hata wakileta vyombo vya dola, hata wakileta jeshi, kama mwananchi ameamua, si ndio? Na sisi tumesema kama utaumia saa hizi wengine wapate faida baadaye, wacha ikuwe hivyo, si ndio? Si mnaona vile wamepanga magari? Hawa majamaa mshahara yao sisi tunalipa. Ama namna gani? Askari wetu mjue kwamba mnaumia kama kila mwananchi wa Kenya anaumia. Msifikiri kwamba mkibeba risasi, ukibeba tear gas hatunaishi vizuri. Maisha yako bado ni mbaya, si ndio? Lakini muhindi wacha ajue namna hiyo. Anaweza kutumia polisi saa hizi aingizwe pale ndani na nguvu. Lakini ajua wakati tunachukua tamu ya uongozi tutamfukuza hata kaa hapa. Tumeelewana watu wetu? Hatuwezi kulazimishiwa investor ambaye anakuja kuharibu mali yetu. Hiyo biashara tumekataa. Tumeelewa watu wetu? Mambo ya Rai tunasema nini? Kuuza Nzoia, umaskini, polisi, tear gas.
Utakubali hiyo kweli? Mimi nataka kuwaomba, nataka kutangaza leo hapa, Mheshimiwa Natembea, Mheshimiwa Eugene, ni lazima Waluya wajue yule mtu ameuza kiwanda chetu cha hapa ni Moses Masika Wetangula. Na ni lazima tuambiane ukweli. Sababu hauwezi peana shamba yetu kwa shilingi 50,000 peke yake. Sisi tunasema hii court order ni lazima itimizwe.
Welcome to the bold analysis. It is only a clique of Luo leaders are quiet. Professor Nyon'go is the only leader and the only governor from Luo Nyanza that is responding about the lease of sugar factories. I've listened to the way Nyon'go speak about this, and it thinks very pathetic, because it's pathetic on the side of government. 4 sugar factories are supposed to be leased, and I would just want to get who is leasing so that you see why people are raising questions about this.
Today, as a county government of Kisumu, we are dismayed to learn that the planned leasing of Chemelil Sugar Factory and Moroni Sugar Factory has been fast-tracked and finalized. This has happened with no proper stakeholder involvement and under cloak of secrecy. Let me repeat. This has happened with no proper stakeholder involvement. The stakeholders, yourself and myself. According to recent developments, Chemelil Sugar Factory is released to Kibos Sugar and Allied Industries Limited, a company only 16 years old, for a period of 30 years, without the participation, approval, or knowledge of the people of Kisumu County. Moroni Sugar Company, a 62-year-old company with a milling capacity of 2,200 tons per day, is to be leased to Keep Chim Chim Group. Keep Chim Chim Group, the operators of West Valley Sugar Company, which has been in operation for barely 17 months, with a production capacity of 1,600 tons, and no nucleus land or even a single mature cane for 30 years. Further, we are gravely concerned that the prime nucleus land of Miwani Sugar Mills is being transferred through opaque arrangements to Crossley Holdings Limited, despite ongoing court litigation. Miwani Sugar Mills Limited and another versus Crossley Holdings Limited, Nagendra Saxena and others. This amounts to criminal activity, circumventing local demands and denying residents a say in the future of their land after the factory's receivership. P.S. Dr. Paul Rono allegedly instructed the National Land Commission to deregister title deeds for Miwani and Moroni lands and issue fresh titles to Kibos and West Valley without county government consultation, risking ethnic tensions, especially near the Nandi, Miwani, and Kipsigis Koguta borders.
The whole leasing of sugar factories, of the 4 sugar factories from the Western Belt, it has been explained as a new strategy to make sure that farmers get their money in time and all that, and to reboot that. But I'm just curious. You have good intentions, and this is something we've been saying. You can have good intentions. But when you don't involve the people, when you don't involve stakeholders, you look like a con man. Let's look at that list. Nzoia Sugar Company has been awarded to the West Kenya Sugar Company. And Makiu, West Kenya iliyopenewa tu juzi. Nzoia is a veteran company compared to West Kenya. So how can a bigger company be adopted by a small one? Question. Number 2. Chemelil Sugar Company has been awarded to Kibos Sugar and Allied Industries. Sony Sugar Company has been awarded to Busia Sugar Industry. Moroni Sugar Company has been awarded to West Valley Sugar Company. Now, I would want to question, 2 things are involved. When you lease to the other company, one perception here is, and the lease is, I'm told, 30 years. One perception here is that pale kuna pesa, pale ndio investor ameweka pesa. Like the investor has money in the West Valley Sugar Company, or the investor in Busia Sugar Company is the one who have money. And so what has been taken over according to me, is these sugar companies normally have nuclears. Their nuclear ni hizo shamba wanapanda miwa. All that will now come from that and go to the parent company. Or probably even any production is done, but it will be packaged and served as the mother company. If the solution to fix the sugar companies was about capital or probably management, then what will stop that? I've heard the president talking about I will clear the debts. Why can't they be? Because I feel when they are adopted and they are the prominent, then it will even create more employment for the people there. And they're saying it will work. So I've seen Raila Odinga supporting this, and Mutahi Kagwe met Raila. Mutahi Kagwe shared this post, Twitter. Following the broad-based consultations with the following companies have been awarded a 30-year lease for operation of the 4 sugar companies. The broad-based consultation is a con, is a big con. There is nothing like broad-based consultation. Why? Why is it that when you want to go and lease sugar companies in Luo Nyanza, you're going for Raila and it's called broadening of consultation? But when you want to go and lease Mumias, you had stakeholders of Mumias, and they've been reacting to this. So the broad-based issue, the broad-based crown in the whole thing is a con thing, so that you can bypass other stakeholders. And the sad thing is, it's only Nyon'go who have spoken and raised his voice on the secrecy of leasing Moroni Nzoia sugar companies. It's only Nyon'go. And Raila opposed to Nyon'go. Raila disagreed with Nyon'go on that. And you can see the way the state is playing their card. They go and meet Raila. There was this meeting between Mutahi Kagwe and Raila Odinga. So they go and meet Raila Odinga in Capitol Hill and probably brief him. And this is what sometimes people don't like, because you can't leave stakeholders, you can't leave other people, you can't believe that if you go and talk to Raila, so that thing is fixed. Kuna watu wapo, kuna wa farmers, kuna wa leaders, kuna the governor. You know, why do you bypass other people? And this is a statecraft because it increases the hate that Odinga is receiving. I saw a video of some young man talking, a lot of bitterness about this issue. So while Ruto was in Migori, he was talking about the sugar belt, the leasing, and he chose to speak about it on top of the car, but cannot sit down with the people to explain, with the stakeholders to explain, and that is not something that should be achieved. Now, why this is a red flag, and the county and the stakeholders must actually still question. Now, if Raila has been told, then Raila then should come and explain to us, unless there is something he knows which he doesn't want the rest to know. Orengo had even raised similar objections. Remember the Dominion farm in Siaya here? The Dominion farm, there was an investor here. The investor in the farm, in the Dominion farm, was given the land in the Yala swamp. And that land he was given, that land he was using, he gave to West Kenya Butali. And Orengo was complaining that wanabeba miwa hapa, wanaenda nayo huko, wanaribu barabara, and they are not supporting the local economy in Siaya. Orengo raised those objections. So hapa is also a situation where miwa itakuwa inatoka from the nuclear in these companies, ikienda the mother company. Because what has been adopted, if what has been leased, the whole thing, I'm a bit afraid that the leasing might involve taking over the operation and all that. And it's not necessarily that that company will be viable. In fact, the leaser, the mother company is where the real investment is. Hii ingine, wameweka hapo, maybe hata hiyo miwa hawatashiaga hapo. maybe watakuwa wanaenda na siaga hiyo miwa somewhere else. This comes as President Worship Battalion descended on Orengo with Odour saying that the only rights they enjoy are roads and schools. You hear when Orengo is talking about people should fight for their rights, the Oburus are only saying, which right, you know, there is no right apart from schools and roads and hospitals. And you listen to some of those statements and you find them, some of us find them very pathetic because it's a bit of it. Now, 3 reasons according to me why secrecy, where there is a lot of secrecy. Number 1, William Ruto and Raila Odinga negotiated deal at a cost that just between them. You know, kama wao ndio wameka kwa meza above board, the leasing above board is because there is a cost involved in it. And there is an assumption that when Raila has already agreed, it is fine. And let me tell you, William Ruto knows very well that he is seeing the kind of objection in Western Kenya. He knows that even Nyanza, there is a likelihood of Nyanza rejecting. So there are 2 things he's doing. Number 1, he's setting up Raila against the other stakeholders. And he knew that Anyang' Nyong'o and stakeholders might actually raise their voice. But that is what he wants. Now today, if that leasing is done, and the Moroni and those sugar companies do not breathe life to those farmers and the other workers who are there, the person who is going to be in the hot soup is Raila Odinga. And that is why I'm telling you that the whole thing is also part of a wider script to make sure that you set up Odinga against the people. Maybe Odinga is seeing it and he's groaning, or maybe he's not seeing it. Then the second objective why this is happening, why the secrecy in it, is because they don't want public scrutiny, and the basis of leasing, while it's being packaged and explained as breathing life to these Luo Nyanza sugar companies, someone just want to take over, but I've decided to go the leasing way. Someone has just decided to take over the sugar industry and has gone the leasing way. Let me tell you, the Treasury CS and the Agriculture CS should have convened meetings. I've seen when they were doing reforms in coffee, Rigathi Gachagua and a person used to go and hold forums with the coffee stakeholders in Mount Kenya. Even Miraa, before they gazetted the new prices, there was a stakeholder engagement. But when you're dealing with the Luo Nyanza, you go and meet Raila somewhere, in a hotel or somewhere in State House, you confine him, you negotiate a deal, and then you believe that through that you've negotiated a deal for the Luo nation. Yes, we appreciate that Odinga is one of the prominent voices here. But such kind of leadership is not the modern day leadership, because now people have information. People do scrutiny. People ask questions. So it should be better. It's a good idea, as they say. But there's nothing that will stop you from engaging the others. Now, the other factor that I'm seeing why that leasing is being done in some sort of secrecy is because they don't want to divulge the details. And the devil is in the details. The devil is in the details. Could be they're leasing those sugar companies, and the real work, 70% of the real work, maybe they're not targeting, maybe they're not even targeting other assets except the raw material. Yes. They accept that raw material because uko ushamba iko. The other sugar companies are also struggling na kupata miwa. And we were saying, you know, we are producing enough now, we don't import. But it's very questionable. And I feel even if the president and the team were so right and they knew they're doing the right thing, it is not wrong to engage stakeholders. Thank you.